hard to navigate that system, right? It's really white when we don't know what to do, and it's hard to find a support system or an advocate or somebody who understands where we're coming from. And Dr. Arya Anand has done that for members of PSSA.
Microphone's better.
Talk louder. That given. Yes. Please welcome Dr. Arya Anand up here.
First of all, a lot of that was way overstated. I was asked to come up with some remarks, and so I did my best, and I was told 3 minutes, so I'm going to do my best. So first of all, good afternoon. I want to thank everyone here, everyone who is here for being here. I want to especially thank all the students who organized this. It takes a hell of a lot of courage, it takes a lot of skill, it takes a lot of thought, and it takes a lot of spirit to do what you've done, to organize this. So thank you. And also I want to thank the family of Salvan for being here and for your words. And I don't really have words to offer you, because I don't have adequate words, is all I'll say. So I'm going to talk about what I think I have something to say about that is actually within the realm of non-madness, you know. So we're here today, so I'm going to read out, I wrote this up. We are here today both to promote peace and to demand justice when harm is done. But what kind of justice do we want? For those of us who want peace, it is important that our justice not be vengeful, some kind of payback against a person who hurt and inflicted violence against somebody's body and dignity. But that does not mean that we don't want anything done. If we want to move away from a vengeful kind of justice, which is really not justice but a kind of revenge, we need to understand what led to that person's violence, what made him behave in the way that he did. We need to understand what made this case so unremarkable that it was not covered by the media for almost 3 weeks. So unremarkable that even charges were not filed for almost a month. If we want to understand why nobody paid any attention to or remarked upon an elderly Hmong veteran being beaten unconscious, we need to understand why it was understood to be worthy of remark, to be unworthy of remark or comment by our institutions of law enforcement and the media. Why was this event so unremarkable? Why did it take a group of dedicated and courageous college students to point out that this event is something worth noticing, that it's worthy of attention, and that the suffering of an old man, his family, and his community are worth taking seriously, that it is morally wrong to ignore it? I think the reason that this event was ignored was the same reason Hmong life, culture, and history are ignored by our school syllabi, by our textbooks. It is the same reason why we publicly grieve white victims of violence, which is appropriate, but look for reasons why Hmong victims of violence might have provoked it, which is not appropriate. Hmong people are simply not deemed to be of importance or value. Hmong people are not seen as a permanent part of America or American history, but as outsiders, temporary visitors, who will one day leave Wisconsin and the Northwoods and go away. Hmong people have fought and died for America. Mr. Vang is a recipient of a Purple Heart, right? That's kind of a big deal. But they are not seen as belonging in American history, American society, or on American land. The regular racial slurs Hmong hunters face suggest that Hmong people's enjoyment of even public property is seen as a favor extended by white society, not as a right that they have as much as any other American. Our media validates white prejudices about Hmong people by reference to a single event in which a Hmong man hurt white people, but minimizes or ignores Hmong suffering from the racial slurs and violence of white people. This is racism. It's embedded in all our major institutions and structures: educational, informational, social, judicial, political, and economic. Unless we address this institutional and structural racism, we will not see justice. Our institutional arrangements will produce more people who enact violent racism, who will respond to Hmong people's very presence with resentment and violence, because they have been taught to think and act in no other way in relation to Hmong people. The problem is not people who perform violently racist acts. The problem is everything that makes those people feel that those acts are both thinkable and doable. Thank you.
Thank you.